Right, another day, another set of missions to go through. Let's see what's in store for us this time before I decide to end the clip. Break through the checkpoint? That sounds more like something I'd like to do if we weren't trying to do things as stealthily as possible. I'm sorry, did we sneak into that territory in a mission we did previously, or are we just claiming the player character did something without the player getting her over there? I know we need an excuse to be in the constantly repeating mission areas, but still, this particular excuse for this particular mission just itches at me badly for some reason. Okay, definitely plenty of enemies clustered together around here. That's gonna make things a little annoying. Still, we know how these guys act at this point. We can still get this job done. Right, of course it didn't take long for them to find the body. Why did he get a scent of us when we didn't get extra bloody outright fighting that archer? Ah well, doesn't change the fact that he's another fallen foe now. And we now have another guy finding a corpse. Shit. We've been spotted as we kill someone. That's one way to break the pattern. And that guy can somehow see us from all the way over here. Ah, my mistake. That wasn't a guy, it was another female ninja. Good God. They really packed the enemies into this mission more tightly than ever before. Maybe they took it personally when I mentioned just how empty that castle felt in the previous clip. Though, if this mission was supposed to help me feel like more of a master ninja than the previous missions, I'm afraid it's just highlighting the AI's flaws around here. Granted, the AI's stupidity is one of the things that makes the game fun, but still, probably not what they were aiming for. Again, really fun to be able to immediately run from one enemy to get to the next kill. Bloody hell. It's a good thing nobody's able to see us from the lower elevation there, because this feels pretty vulnerable to me. Hello there! Don't mind me, just passing through as I leave a trail of bodies. I've yet to hear any complaints from our master for being such a bloodthirsty bitch as we get these jobs done. Oh, I probably should have been seen again as we ran out of there. Part of me is annoyed with myself for not killing more of them there. The other is just not a fan of the forest path map, and dreading the next time we have to come back to it. And again, we get Ninja 5 when I feel we deserved a lower score. This game is definitely being more forgiving than I would have expected. Do people just not know that corruption equals death around here? I mean, sure, it's kind of a cliche that criminals do their crimes thinking, nobody's ever gonna catch me, that just happens to other people. So cliche, in fact, that it happens both in stories and in real life. Still, you'd think that there'd be some more sense of self-preservation around here, especially when you learn how many other criminals have been dying due to ninjas. I mean, there's no way that the Goda clan keeps it secret who they kill in their own realm and why. Otherwise, absolutely everyone would be worried about dying, and that, I assume, might make it more likely for Goda territory to go through an outright civil war. I'm sure it'd be rather awkward for a state during the Sengoku period to go through its own internal civil war during the 100-years-long civil war that Japan found itself in. I'm also pretty sure I'm overthinking things again and should just focus on the enemies in front of us for a while. I kind of wish that the little indicator for when we're close to enemies said what direction they're in, but I suppose only telling us how close we are to the nearest one is good enough. It's certainly gotten us this far with little to no trouble. I'm not sure if the enemies are more numerous than they were in earlier missions, but it's certainly feeling like they're more tightly packed together. Shit. Should have realized someone would have seen one of the earlier bodies as we were dashing in. Got a bit too cocky there. Still, just because we're hurt doesn't mean we're screwed. It just means we got less room to screw up for the rest of the mission. Bloody hell. Really can't help feeling annoyed at the invisible walls around here. One of the big things about being a ninja is being highly mobile, so the fact that we've got some sections of open air that look like we should be able to go through them is pretty annoying. It doesn't help that it highlights how this game doesn't really feel like it belongs on the Xbox 360. It's just a slightly prettier looking PS2 game that lacks the amount of polish per mission of the PS2 entries of the Tenchu series, the very series we're in right now. Have I mentioned that EDF 2017 feels like it pushed the Xbox 360 better, and that was purposely a cheap game release on the same console generation? Again, I should probably be more concerned what's going on right now. That last guy was oddly observant and quick on the draw. And now all it will take is one hit to kill us, assuming I don't find any healing items to use. This is definitely more exciting than our usual missions around here, that's for sure. And we've definitely got some enemies inside the building messing with our detection system now. Shit! That wasn't the voice of a hostile, that was a civilian! Definitely don't want to leave that kind of corpse on the ground. Okay, why am I not just eating the damn rice ball now that we've got it? We can heal! Too much to hope that would be our target. Right. Most definitely took too many chances that time. Ah, well, considering I was getting a big hit from all our success so far, I suppose I deserved to get a mission fail screen. Really? We don't gain anything from all the kills we did before we failed there. That seems oddly harsh considering this is the same game that's been giving us Ninja 5 ratings consistently, despite how many mistakes we've made in previous missions. Ah well, it's not like we need to buy some fresh equipment to get the job done in a better way, we just need to be better at taking down hostiles and avoiding getting into direct confrontations. Just need the right mindset for it. How the hell did... Ugh. I'm starting to get the feeling that the swordsmen who walk with a swagger are far more observant than anyone else, even the hostile ninjas we've run into so far. They're not especially frustrating to deal with, but they do seem to be a bit of a jump in difficulty that I didn't see coming, so it's going to take some time to adjust. It's probably better for you if you don't know what happened to you, sir. After all, through the magic of video games, we've started this mission from the top, and you had a second chance at life that we just stole. You'd probably be depressed to learn that in both versions of these events, you end up dying. I'm pretty sure that chicken screaming would have alerted someone if they weren't already dead. Yeah, the more observant guys certainly have more of a swagger to their step, and they're wearing a more notably expensive-looking kind of robe than the guys we were slaughtering in the first few missions of the game. Or at least I assume they're more expensive than the starting samurai we were seeing. It's not like I'm especially familiar enough with that style of Japanese clothes to refer to them by any specific name. I probably should, though, considering the sheer number of samurai movies and samurai-setting anime I've enjoyed over the years. Well, we've certainly gotten more stealth kills than the previous attempt, even managed to sneak up on the dog, for whatever that's worth. Again, they are very damn fast to go from lazily standing around to blaze drawn compared to all the enemies we saw earlier in the game. That's definitely throwing me off quite a bit. Yet, the guy inside didn't hear his buddy outside yell in shock. Ugh. One more guy outside. Sorry, ma'am. Hope you won't be too traumatized by all the corpses in this place. I'm afraid everyone with a sword, spear, or bow is part of our job here, and it's a little awkward working around you. But I suppose it could have been significantly worse. There's our main target. Why the hell did he decide to sit down when he saw the door behind him open with nobody coming in? Right, second time we got him. That was certainly more troublesome than the filler mission had any right to be. And we're back to getting glowing reviews for our work. Is there really nothing between Ninja 5 and failure for me in this game? Alright, more new clothing that I'm probably not going to bother putting on in the foreseeable future. Anyway, time to do one more mission before we call it a day.
Ogawaraがこのところ
So, we aren't explicitly at war with them just yet, but we're still spending a good chunk of our missions fighting against Ogawara. Huh. For some reason, I was expecting us to be fighting various criminals more than Ogawara at this stage of the game, especially considering how many missions there are, but then we've already gotten to a point where many of the missions just feel like they blur together, when this is just the 15th time we've gone out, and this game has a little over 50 missions overall. Mostly because I have approximately the same approach to every mission, regardless of the objective that will finish it. Kind of a shame that there aren't more ninja games out there, as far as I know. The Naruto games don't really count for me because, well, they don't really have stealth as a major thing. Our heroes just openly fight their foes, with at best the occasional clever trick in the middle of the clash, or maybe the element of surprise at the start. Outside of the Tenchu series, there are only 2 ninja games I can think of. There's Red Ninja End of Honor, something I vaguely remember renting as a kid, that I at one point put on my maybe Let's Play list. It wasn't anything amazing by any means, but it did scratch a bit of that itch. And then there's the game Aragami, something I remember trying out on Steam, and that one of these days I should probably record, especially now that I know that there's a sequel to it. Granted, the ninja in that game is more supernatural than any of the ones in Tenchu, but still, you want to avoid being seen as you eliminate foe after foe. Definitely more ninja-esque to me than something like Sekiro, which is essentially Dark Souls with a samurai coloring. I should probably get to work on the other Tenchu games before doing either Amagami or Red Ninja, though. It can be all too easy to end up getting ahead of myself. Sorry, pal. I have a thing against leaving enemy combatants alive in a given area. That's not to say we don't leave any survivors. There have been a few times in this very clip where that has happened. I just like trying to avoid enemy survivors. Considering it's possible for the enemy to hear us unsheathing our blade, I'm kind of curious why nobody ever reacts to the sound of us sheathing it. I'm pretty sure both are just as loud, but then the enemy never reacts to the sound of their allies getting absolutely gutted next to them. Just the sight of them. We must be running low on enemies to kill in this mission by now. I should probably make more of an effort to find the intel we infiltrated this place for in the first place. Good thing that guy didn't have instantaneous reflexes. That could have easily been embarrassing. Wish there was some obvious spot they might have left it, but we've been on this map multiple times, and we will multiple times in the future. It could be anywhere simply because the game designers wouldn't want to reuse the exact same spot in the map for something important. And that's another man down. A man who was just in a random corner, nothing to protect. And not much in the way of visibility in there to let him help his buddies to try to keep the area clear of hostiles. And there's another survivor. At the very least, checking areas for survivors is a good way to check if we've explored it for our objective. Ah, there we are. We already cleared that room that it was sitting in. Well, that's mildly embarrassing, but then it's not like I was trying to end the mission as we killed that guy. Well, I can certainly agree with us getting the highest score when we went completely undetected after killing almost 20 people. That definitely deserves a pat to the back. Right, onwards to the store, and hopefully I won't have to rebuy anything due to when the game saves data around here. Nothing really screams that we absolutely need it now. I'm just making things more accessible for when we gain more stat points to distribute later. Don't need combos if I'm not planning on getting into any direct confrontations if we can help it. Hell, I barely do combos even in games where direct fighting is a major thing. Just look at my Buffy the Vampire Slayer LP. There were a number of decent combos I could have tried, but I just stuck with the same 2 or 3 moves just for the sheer sake of, okay, I can pull them out in a hurry.